Ever seen an ostrich egg before? Have you ever eaten an ostrich egg before? Well, let me tell you, that's what we're gonna do. My name's Julie and I work at the Rooster Cogburn Ostrich Ranch in southern Arizona. And we're kind of like a zoo, except we're the best zoo ever because you get to pet and touch and feed all the animals. But in addition to that, we have ostrich eggs that you can purchase to eat with. Let's show you how to get in them. You see right here, they score it, so it kind of gets it started for you. You don't need a hammer or anything special to get into these ostrich eggs. Here's what you're gonna need. You're gonna need a bowl, you're gonna need a butter knife, the other end of the butter knife, the heavy end, and you're gonna need a chopstick. You're also gonna need a red Solo cup, and you're gonna need either a whisk, or I like to use my immersion blender. So let's get started. The first thing you're gonna wanna do is you're going to want to take your butter knife and you're going to want to tap, tap, tap in the part where it is scored. This is going to help you get the egg. Now the cool thing is that you're then going to be able to keep the ostrich egg. These ostrich eggs, before you break into them, will last in your fridge for a good month. They taste very similar to chicken eggs, maybe a little sweeter. They're definitely fluffier. They also are lower in cholesterol and higher in omegas. So they're really healthy for you. So the next thing that you're gonna do is you're just gonna rinse it off and then you're gonna take your chopstick, all right? You're gonna take your chopstick. Now, I don't know if you can see this, but there's a membrane in there, and the membrane is just like a chicken egg membrane. It's just a little thicker. So you're gonna take your chopstick and poke it down in there. Now, you're going to start scrambling it inside the shell because that's really the only way to get it out of the shell is to scramble it. And I usually try to tell people to scramble it, you know, like I tell people 100 scrambles one way and then 100 scrambles the other way. So if you think you're done scrambling, keep scrambling a little more because it takes a lot to get it out of here. Have your bowl or your Tupperware or whatever it is you want. Here's what you do. You're gonna go upside down and it gets messy. So you kind of have to lug it out of there, and sometimes you can see why you really need to get up in there with the chopstick. So the next step, what I do is I will take this egg and I'm gonna set it over like a cup, any sort of a plastic cup, any sort of a red Solo cup or anything like that, so they can kind of keep dripping. Now, at this point, you can either use a whisk. I have a whisk in here with my recipe for the chile rellenos. Or what I generally use at this point is I use my immersion blender, but you certainly don't have to. You can just use a whisk, or you could use a hand beater or anything like that. It's just something to get them beaten up. Now, if you want to keep them covered like this after you beat your eggs, you can cover it with saran wrap and keep it in your refrigerator for a few days. You could use part of it for breakfast and then save part of it. I want to show you something else that you can do, how you can store them. You can use your regular ice cube trays and put them in the ice cube trays and freeze them. And let me show you what that looks like. I froze, this is 24 of the little ice cubes. They are 24 ostrich egg ice cubes. And these are fantastic. These are fantastic for meal preps. So these are essentially an egg. They're like a large egg. And I froze them in the ice cube trays, and then when they were frozen the next day, I popped them into here, and now I can get them out whenever I want. So what do you do when you get to this point with your ostrich egg? So from here, it's been dripping, okay, in your cup. And then what you're gonna do is you're just going to, and I won't need to show you this, but I usually squirt a little bit of my dishwashing liquid down in there, and then I just run hot water and I just rinse it. And then I just dump all the water out of it, and then I'll take your, countertop Clorox cleanser, just any kind of cleanser. It doesn't have to be straight Clorox, just like a countertop cleanser. And I just squirt a little bit of that in there and swish it around. And then I turn it back upside down, either on a different cup, or I'll put it someplace sometimes in my garage, and I will just keep it in there for a good week or two. It's a little chilly now, so it's gonna take a little bit longer to sort of cure or just dry out so that you don't have, anything odd smelling in your house. So this will just be completely cured and beautiful and ready for kids to paint or color, or I'm really thinking I'm gonna do some Easter eggs.